Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. So today we're talking about why the 2019 New York Yankees have been such a good Major League Baseball team. Now yes, they've had their ups and downs just like every ball club in the league, but at the end of the day, they are 98-53. That's tied for first with the Houston Astros for the best record in all of Major League Baseball right now. So how did this New York baseball team get to where they are today? With all the injuries that they've had and the pitching staff problems that they've faced, what has brought them to almost 100 wins and a World Series potentially? In my opinion, I'm thinking about two things in particular. That's the next man up type of mentality and the savages in the box. I think savages in the box, when Aaron Boone went off on the umpire for throwing out Garner in a hurry, that was huge. He really showed how much he cared for his players and how much he wanted to protect them. And that gave him a really good mentality going into the rest of the season. That was either right before or right after the All-Star break, and it's been huge. Still to this day, we're talking about that. That conversation that he's had, or that rant really, against the umpire, that was big, and there's shirts, and everyone's just having a great time about it. It's a huge motto going around the ball club and the franchise. Now, next man up is big as well. The Yankees essentially took half of a AAA roster, put them onto a major league level, and they won a whole bunch of games. And who am I really talking about in particular here? Well, Clint Frazier, Gio Urshela, he was huge. Cameron Maybin, I think he was really good. He only has 8 home runs and 28 RBIs on the year, but I think he can hit for clutch. He's a really good defensive player, and he does hit for contact as well. He can get on base. And Mike Tauchman, I think that guy's been huge as well. These 4 guys really weren't going to see playing time. And Urshela especially, because we had the second place Rookie of the Year, Miguel Andujar. We thought we were going to use him, and then he had this injury. What do? Well, we call up the only guy we have in reserve, Urshela. This guy goes ahead, and to this day, he's putting up a .325 average with 20 home runs and 72 RBIs in the 2019 campaign. That's huge. Cameron Maybin, again, I just mentioned his stats. Mike Tauchman, 13 home runs, 47 RBIs, 6 stolen bases. There was a long period of time where there were a lot of outfielders out. Giancarlo Stanton's only played about 20 games this year. Aaron Judge was out for a while. Brett Gardner had some time on the IL as well. And of course, we all know Jacoby Ellsbury hasn't been with the team in a long time. But, there's a lot of responsibility. And Clint Frazier and Maybin especially, and Mike Tauchman as outfielders really did what they needed to. And Gio Urshela has done a phenomenal job at the hot corner. If we look at all the injuries in 2019, currently you have Aaron Hicks out, Mike Tauchman, Miguel Andujar, Greg Bird, Luis Severino, who's actually scheduled to come back tomorrow, and Giancarlo Stanton, who might come back for the postseason, we don't know, and then a couple others as well. But those were the big names, and I probably missed a couple of guys because this is a huge list. But in 2019, your total injuries include all of those guys: Brett Gardner, Aaron Judge, Edwin Encarnacion, Luke Voit. I believe Gary Sanchez had a stint on the IL as well. Didi Gregorius, Cameron Maybin, Dylan Betances, who's finally back, Gio Urshela. You have so many guys. I think there was a point where there were 13 players out on the injured list at the same time for the Yankees, and they still managed to win games and hold their own. And it's crazy if you're thinking about some of the other competitive teams in the league and what they've been able to do against them. It's just ridiculous how they've been able to put things together almost like a puzzle piece, and everything they've seemed to do has worked out in their favor. And then, of course, you also have guys who have just had really big performances throughout the entire season for New York. And 3 guys in particular for me: Gleyber Torres, DJ LeMahieu, and Brett Gardner. Gardner, because I'm a little biased, but if you really look at his numbers here, 25 home runs. That's a single season career high. And prior to 2019, the Yankees signed to a 1-year contract. He's going to be a free agent after this year, but he went ahead. He had this new contract. He said, hey, it's going to be one of my last years as a Yankee, or my last year as a Yankee. I got to make it count. And what is he doing? Putting up career numbers. I love it. DJ LeMahieu came over from Colorado. He's hitting .328 with 24 home runs, 93 RBIs, and 5 stolen bases. Gleyber Torres as well. This is his sophomore year campaign. He's hitting .284 with 37 home runs, 87 RBIs, 5 stolen bases. Ridiculous numbers for some of these kids. Gleyber Torres especially, he's young. We're going to have him for a while. I think we have his contract, under control for a couple of years in the future here. But 3 big seasons. They have also a bunch of other guys as well, pitchers especially. I just haven't really gotten to everyone's numbers, but huge clutch performances the Yankees have just really needed. And these positions have been fulfilled. DJ LeMahieu's been used all over the place. He's been used at first, second, third. Like, he's super clutch. I think he's been a DH at points as well. Gleyber Torres can play second and short. Very versatile. Brett Gardner can play anywhere in the outfield, which is huge because of all the injuries that they've had and that we've talked about. So now mid-season acquisitions. Yes, we know they did nothing at the trade deadline, but did that really harm them? I'm not sure. I mean, we know they needed starting pitching. They didn't really get anyone. But during the year, who they did receive, Edwin Encarnacion, having a great year, 34 home runs, 86 RBIs. James Paxton, who came over from Seattle, he's 9-9 in his last 9 starts, I believe, for a total of 14-6 on the year, record-wise, and that's big because we had the last 2 weeks of baseball, regular season, and then we had the postseason. And if he can continue that and win almost every game, if not every game, that's big, you know? We really need that solid arm in the rotation. And then you have Luke Voigt, who I don't think was acquired this season. I believe he was 2018 from the Cardinals. But now he's really getting the most playing time in pinstripes. He has 21 home runs, 61 RBIs. He's put up some big numbers as well. Again, a first baseman and DH. That's been really key for this lineup. So again, I can't get to everyone and every individual performance and all the statistics, but for pitching, I can talk about Domingo Germán, who has been a superstar and honestly like a blessing in disguise because we didn't know that we weren't going to have Luis Severino until September. He's coming back tomorrow, I believe, for his first start of 2019. But Domingo has an 18-4 record and a 4.09 ERA with 151 strikeouts. I think there was a point his ERA was in the 2s, which was ridiculous. 18-4. You're winning a lot of games out there on the mound, and that is really big because we didn't have a solid starter. Masahiro Tanaka is 10-8, not bad, but he's not the Luis Severino ace we've seen in the past. He's not even the Tanaka ace we've seen in the past. But again, not bad numbers. Tanaka 10-8, 4.60 ERA, 141 strikeouts on the year. And then Chapman, of course, our big reliever, 37 saves, 42 opportunities, a 3-2 record. Big numbers from there as well. The Cuban Missile has been ridiculous and really great for us out of the pen. Zach Britton's had a great year. Ottavino has been doing tremendous out there on the mound. Chad Green as well. A lot of guys. Again, I can't talk about everyone, but I wish I could because everyone deserves to be recognized. This is a great ball club. Now, the list of exceptional players for the year Yankees just keeps going on and on. But we have to talk about Aaron Boone. Again, he's protected his players. He stuck up for them. He shows how much he cares for this team, and he's done very well. And with what he's been given, I think he's definitely exceeded. He could easily be the AL Manager of the Year. There was a point that this Yankees team had so many guys on the IL, it looked like we were going to lose a whole bunch of games in the first half. We weren't going to do well. Maybe we'd be second to the Rays. We're going back and forth to Tampa Bay for a little bit. But he took players from AAA with little to no Major League Baseball experience, threw them on a Major League Baseball field, kind of showed them the ropes, told them what to do. And they competed, and they did what they were supposed to. They won a lot of games, and some teams with not a lot of chemistry, or some players with not a lot of chemistry coming together and winning. And at that point, you also have to say, well, Gardner and Sabathia, with their seniority, really came together and did well, I'm sure, in the dugout and in the clubhouse and on the field. Like, just great performances by everyone, and it's been a collective effort, and that is why the Yankees are currently 98-53 postseason bound. So as a Yankees fan, of course, I'm super excited to see what they do in the last 2 weeks. Hopefully they make it to the World Series and they win it. Again, I don't want to jinx it here, but I think they definitely can. Dellin Betances just came back from injury 2 days ago, so that's a good sign. Same thing with Severino, who's returning tomorrow. Jordan Montgomery also came back on Saturday, and I'm excited. Like, this is a great team, and I think the fans, the stadium, everything, Yankee Stadium is a great environment, and the fans are crazy. Like, we're pumped up, we're excited, we're ready for this team to go far in the postseason, and I cannot wait. I'm super excited just to see how they finish the year and what they can accomplish, come October. And I think anyone can be who roots for this team, even if you don't really love the Yankees. You still got to say, well, hey, you got to recognize how well they've done and what they could potentially pull off come the last couple weeks of October if they make it that far. So guys, that's going to end this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.